Yo, yo, yo. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Apex Boom. If you didn't know already, welcome to episode 13. I think, check the title of this video to see if I'm correct. I'm not sure. Of the task setup series for this time, the Adidas Yeezy Boost 3. Whoa, what am I saying? 3. No, there's no 3. The Adidas Yeezy Boost V2 Breds that will be dropping this weekend, December 5th. On so many sites because stock is absolutely massive, or so what I heard anyways. All right, guys, so getting started, as we keep tradition, we're going to begin with Shopify and begin with Undefeated. So starting with our mode, we're going to be using Starboard 3.0 because that is your optimal mode. Like I always say, this can apply to any bot. This isn't strictly for NSB or this bot or that bot or that bot. This is like a template bot because I know a lot of you guys either have NSB or looking to get NSB as your first bot. So that is why a lot of the times I use NSB. Okay, so to get back on track, you want to select whatever type of anti-bot mode that your bot selects. In this case, it is Cyborg 3.0 for NSB users. So I will be selecting that. For keywords, we're going to do Yeezy 350. Oops, 350. V2 black. Red. And if you only want to go for the adult sizes, you can do -GS, -PS, -TD, -kids, and just to rather be safe than sorry, we'll throw in -friends and family, even though it should literally have no effect at all. Now we're going to do a comma, and this gives us a brand new set of wait a second, I just realized I put in Yeezy 360. Okay, so we're going to put a comma because this gives us a new set of keywords to work with. So this time we're going to do Yeezy 350 V2 Bred, and of course the same thing we're going to do -GS, -PS, -TD, -kids, -F. Oops, I'm folding. -F and F, simply like that, like so. You want to come over here and select your building profile. Once you have that, now a lot of the times for Undefeated, I would strongly suggest you try to do one task per profile, like strictly one task per profile, simply as that. But if you want to go ahead and try to stretch it out a little bit and try to do 2 or 3 tasks, that's on you. I'm not recommending it, or I'm not saying that you should do it, but that's on you. All right, so for our delays, as you guys know, we're going to start off with 10,000 millisecond delays, and we're going to drop them down to around anywhere from 3,500 to 2,600 milliseconds, depending on how many tasks you have. If you take my recommendations and you only have one Undefeated account, or you plan on making multiples, you're going to do one. Let's say, for example, you have 3 accounts, so you're going to do 1 task per account. So that means you have 3 total tasks going, and if you have 3 total tasks going, of course you start again your delays at 10,000 milliseconds, and 1 minute 30 seconds before the drop goes live. You want to drop them to 3,500 milliseconds. Now, on the other hand, if you were running something more like 1 task, that means you have a little bit more flexibility and drop your task to 2,600 milliseconds instead. Excuse me, to 2,600 milliseconds instead. Why can I not talk? All right, there we go. Now, if you guys want to use the share monitor, you can go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to, just because. Now, you can typically always leave your number of tasks blank, because it'll just be 1 task anyways. Plus, we're just going to be using 1 task because we only have 1 account to use. And of course, for the size, like I always say, if you want to go for multiple sizes, or if you're fine with multiple, let's say you want to go for money sizes, and that's like a size 8.5, size 10, and size 12. You just do size 8.5, comma, size 10, comma, size 12. Now the bot will go for any of these sizes within this interval. It won't go for 8.5 and 10 and 12. It'll go for 8.5 or 10 or 12, like that. All right, now that we have that situated, of course you want to require login, put in your credentials, your email and password, and boom, just like so, we are ready for Undefeated. Now, as you guys know, Undefeated typically drops at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or random. So please keep that in mind when going for Undefeated, and I wish you guys the best of luck for those running Shopify Undefeated. Now, let us go to 10 a.m. drops, and that I will be using Kith as always as my dummy setup. This applies to any 10 a.m. site dropping, which will be a lot. You have Kith, Jimmy Jazz, DTLR, I think. Like I said, it's just a test of the video. This isn't a how to cop. Well, it is technically a how to cop, but it's not a where to cop, shall I say. All right, so if you guys want to, you can just paste keywords in like that. But if you're not comfortable with these, like I always say, wait till your bot Discord group releases keywords, or wait until your cook group releases keywords, or wherever you get your sources from. Wait until then. Just remember, for Kith, you need an early link. 9 times out of 10, like seriously, 9 times out of 10, you will not get anything picked up with keywords on Kith. So please be sure to get an early link, either from your bot Discord, your cook group, or wherever you outsource your information from. So first and foremost, the only 10 AM site that requires you to log in is Concepts. So if you want to go ahead and set up for Concepts real quick, keep require login on, and then once you're done setting up for Concepts, you want to go ahead and turn it off. All right, so let's say hypothetically we're going to be going for Kith, and imagine that this is an early link and not keywords. We're going to leave literally virtually everything the same, but I'm fine with any size, to be honest. We're going to leave virtually everything the same, and we're just going to simply submit with no proxy. Keep in mind, no proxy. Now let's say this time we want to go for we're going to go for a DTLR or even Shoe Palace. We're going to go ahead and, of course, paste our keywords in again, and yep, you guessed it, just hit submit. Now keep in mind, we're using only no proxy, so this will be the last. I would suggest at most 3 tasks with no proxy. That's at least my general rule of thumb anyways. And let's say the last site will be Jimmy Jazz. Now if you're comfortable with going for Shoe Palace, let's say for example you want to do something like Kith, Shoe Palace, and DTLR, or DTLR, Kith, and Shoe Palace. Any of those combinations work. It's all about what sites you want to run for. And even if you have proxies, I would strongly suggest ISP proxies. But if you have proxies, plug those bad boys in, and you can run for even more sites as well. So what's going to be the next thing we do? Yep, you guessed it, just submit. All right, so now we have our task all set up. Hypothetically, if we were going to be going for the 10 AM releases with no proxy, we're going to have 3 tasks max with no proxy. And like I always say, start your task 5 minutes beforehand and drop them down to 3,500 milliseconds, 1 minute to 30 seconds before the drop goes live. Now, on the other hand, if you have ISPs available, which aren't guaranteed to work, but you never know. If you have ISPs available, you have a whole lot more wiggle room to work with. So we're going to go ahead and do, like I always say, even with ISPs though, you don't want to overdo it, because you're going to get slammed with captchas. You won't know what's going on. You just start solving and start screwing up. That's why I like to keep my stuff organized and concise. All right, say again, you want to put a few more tasks for DTLR. Boom, you have 3 more tasks using a proxy at that. And another thing with using proxies excuse me, is the fact that you can mess with your delays a little bit more as well. So you can drop all of these to, of course, around 2600 milliseconds. Let's say, for example, if you have 50 ISP proxies, you have more than enough wiggle room to drop them a little bit lower than usual, because your proxy to task ratio is so much higher. For every 3 tasks, you have a lot of proxies. All right, so let's go ahead and hustle on back this time to Shoe Palace. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm not 100% familiar with Shoe Palace. I literally have never ran for it, but I know for the most part, I believe an early link or variance, it's like the deal breaker for Shoe Palace. So please be sure to outsource those from your cook groups, or your bot Discord group if you have those readily available to you. But the same principle still applies. If you want to make a few more tasks, let's say we're just going to bump it up to 5. Make 5 tasks and plug in your ISP proxy list, and boom. Just keep in mind though, you're going to be solving a lot of captcha. It's going to be a lot at one time. So just please keep that in mind while you're going for this release for Shopify sites. But yeah, you guys, other than that, that has been the 10 AM releases. As you can see, we have all of our tasks set up. We have a total of about 10 tasks. So just keep that in mind while you're running for these releases. These are going to be the breadwinners right here. The no proxy tasks, those will be your breadwinners, because those will go the fastest, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, you guys, let's move on to the next releases, which will be, of course, Yeezy Supply. So let me go ahead and grab the PID real quick. Alright, you guys, now we're going to go ahead and move on to Yeezy Supply. Now, what we want to do for this release, as you guys can see, I went and got the PID or SKU or style code, whatever you want to call it, whatever floats your boat. And we're going to go ahead and get started for Yeezy Supply now. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and create our task. We're going to begin with normal mode. Now, here, as you guys know, it's a little bit different on as is with everybody. But on NSB, you guys may know or may not know, they have an advanced solver. And with that, they say you can run as many tasks as you want to, or as many tasks as your PC can handle. So please bear that in mind when running for these releases, because if you have like 500 tasks and your PC can only support like 50, you're going to break your PC and not going to cop anything, because everything's going to be so slow, laggy, and it's going to be a complete mess. So just to be safe, we're going to do, let's say 50 tasks, half and half down the middle. We're going to do 50 on normal mode, and we're going to go ahead and, of course, for your proxy list, residentials, high quality residentials are fine, but as you guys know, ISPs are always king because they barely get banned. I'm not saying they don't, because there still may be a chance that they do, but just using regular residential or low quality residential proxies 9 times out of 10 will always get banned, so keep that in mind. High quality resis and ISPs are king when it comes to these type of releases. So we're going to go ahead and put in our SP ISP, then our SSISP, this time for Q only mode. Now, if you guys don't know what Q only mode is, basically once you pass Splash, it will open up, NSB will open up a browser checkout for you to check out manually that way instead, which can be pretty effective, honestly, because if there's a lot of problems with it trying to auto checkout, once a Q only task ends up passing Splash, you can just handle the rest yourself. So we're gonna make 50 of those as well, or even if you're not comfortable with doing 50, you can do something like 25. It all just depends on what you want to do personally. Boom, now we have that. Now you want to come over here to our captcha, and you see this little brain looking icon. You want to make sure this is going to be your demand v3 advanced solver. You want to make sure you are logged into your Gmail account, your high quality your high quality Gmail account with this, and please make sure that it is a 0.9 Gmail, because this literally gives you like 1,000% more chance of passing Splash that more quickly, and this is also what gives you the ability to run as many tasks as your PC can support when it comes to NSB. So please bear that in mind. And with that being said, let's move on to the next release. As you guys should know, or may not know, when it comes to Yeezy Supply, you have to wait until the splash page let me rephrase that. With Yeezy Supply, you have to wait until the sale actually goes live to start tasks. So please be sure to be paying attention to your cook groups, your bot Discord groups, to reassure when the sale is live so you can begin your task. Do not begin your task as soon as they launch the splash page. Wait until the sale actually goes live, then start your task. All right, now that is Yeezy Supply. Now let's go on to the final boss, which will be foot sites at 7 a.m. We all know foot sites are a monster. That is a given, but we have to do it. All right, now let me go ahead and grab the SKU once again, and I'll be right back. All right, so it seems there is not an SKU readily available for me to put in right now. So instead, what I'm going to put here is insert SKU. So please remember, guys, to get your SKU from your cook groups and bot Discord groups, like I've said a million times before. Now, as you guys know, a lot has changed with foot sites. It's changed a lot with foot sites within the past few months, from Adyen to them taking off PayPal guest checkout. It's just been a whole lot. Payment, PVs, it's been a lot that has went down. So in order to combat those changes, literally the best thing we can do is adapt. Now, like I've said before, I've changed up the way I set up on foot sites for the most part. I try not to run so many tasks with the same profile, just so I do not get my get any cart expired errors or anything like that from just running the same information over and over again for so many tasks. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our profile, and I guess we're going to begin with the task mode as well for the first half of the task anyways. And of course, like I always say, if you know what size you want to go for, go ahead and put those in. I like to leave mine blank because I'm fine with any size, to be honest. They all are looking great right now, in my opinion. Now, we're going to go ahead, well, at least I'm going to anyways, and I'm going to do a maximum of two tasks on Foot Locker for this. And hit submit, boom. And I'm going to go over here to the mobile and do 2 more tasks, just like that, boom. And keep in mind, you guys, when it comes to your proxies, ISPs are a must. They are a must. Residentials get burned so bad if you're running a crap ton of tasks simply because of the gift they put up now for very, very high releases. So ISPs are more than king when it comes to foot sites now. Please bear that in mind. They're going to be your best friend from now on until something happens to the gift, or until bots figure out a way to bypass it. They're going to be your best friend. All right, let's come over to our next profile. Do the same thing like so. Do that. Basically, just do this with all of your profiles until you run out. Now, if you only have 1 or 2 profiles, you can do a few more tasks. I would not go overboard at all though, because like I said, you're gonna experience a lot more errors because you have so many tasks. You literally have so many tasks running the same information. So please bear that in mind, you guys. All right, now I'm gonna go over to the next site, which will be foot action, and we're just gonna just do the same thing. Copy, boom, like so. Boom. Copy, paste like so. Boom, 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 copy, paste like so. And you just keep doing this over and over again for all of your tasks. That's literally basically it for foot sites, you guys. Make sure you get your SKU though. Make sure you get that before the drop, or you won't be copying anything. If you put this insert SKU as the SKU, you might as well do yourself a favor and just stay asleep until the 8 a.m. Undefeated drop, and until Yeezy Supply comes out, and until Shopify comes out at 10 a.m. as well. But yeah, you guys, are pretty much wrap things up. Please remember, ISPs are king when it comes to foot sites nowadays. Residentials, do not overdo it when your tasks come out. For me personally, I try to do about 20 to 40 tasks max. That way it doesn't just rip through your residential data. And that's just honestly what you have to do nowadays, guys. I know it sucks, but until some things change, you just have to, like I always say, adapt to these changes. Yeah, you guys, I wish you guys the best of luck when it comes to these releases. If you also, let me mention one more thing. If you want to mess with your task delay, your delay here, you can go ahead and do that. Anything from 5,000 to I'd say at lowest 3,500. At the very lowest, depending on your the amount of proxies you have, you can go a little bit lower if you wanted to. But like I said, all depends on you, what you want to do. But yeah, you guys, please don't forget to start your task about 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time, just to get things warmed up and to get into queue and things of that nature. I wish you guys the best of luck. This drop is going to be a lot of fun and a lot of headaches at the same exact time, because I just know it. I wish you guys the best of luck. I wish myself luck as well, because I'm going to need it. Yeah, deuces, guys. Happy holidays, by the way.